Hey guys, I'm Meteorologist Chris Tomer. Let's talk some mountain weather, and we've got a powder weekend ahead across a lot of places in the interior west and even up in the Pacific Northwest. So we'll look at all that. First of all, some orientation here. This is the satellite, infrared satellite over the Pacific, and a lot of things to point out here. First of all, we've had a couple of small lows sacrifice themselves to move this high, and look where it is now. It's over the Pacific. So the storm track allowing what's going to be the main event to become something significant. This low up in the Pacific Northwest, you see that red low? That's going to slide right down and basically follow the first two storms and become major for Utah and Colorado with 1 to 2 feet of accumulation on the way. Also notice that low near Hawaii. That becomes a very important player in the Pacific Northwest and California and the interior into next week. That could deliver an atmospheric river setup into the Pacific Northwest and in California. So I'll go run through all this in my forecast, but I want to look at the future position now of where the precip is going to be, the rain and the snow, in particular the snow in blue. So let me move this into the future into Thursday. Notice the light snows over Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, very light. The main event is coming, and here it is. Let's move into Thursday. Here's Thursday afternoon. There's Friday morning. So the snow hits the Wasatch, hits Bryan Head on Thursday, and then moves into Colorado on Friday. This is Friday morning. Look at the low spinning up in southeast Colorado. It is a 991. So snow hits the Utah, Wasatch first, and then into Colorado, and then the storm exits on Saturday. Drier air moves in. So it's a Thursday, Friday event. Let's fast forward. Look at Saturday. Look at Saturday in the Pacific Northwest. That is a deep flow. This is actually, I looked at the data, a moderate atmospheric river setup, so there's going to be some very big totals, and you'll see those coming up. And then that low, and BC is good too. Western Alberta should probably get a foot. And then that low drops south between Sunday and Monday. Let me stop it on Monday morning right here. Look at that dropping south into the Sierra. And this also could qualify as an atmospheric river looking ahead at Monday. We may see some big numbers if this comes together. There's still, it's not set in stone, but if it comes together, we're looking at big totals. And then look at starting on Tuesday, the low begins to break loose on the 14th and the 15th, moving into the interior of Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, and eventually Colorado between the 14th and the 15th. So just know that we have a good storm system to look forward to next week, including that atmospheric river setup for the West Coast. Here's what I'm thinking, and we'll do snow totals in 2 stages. The first runs through the 12th. These are the numbers, 1 to 2 feet in Utah and Colorado. Again, Utah gets those numbers first, and then Colorado second. Moderate amounts up in Wyoming, Idaho, and Montana, except for the northern parts around Schweitzer and Whitefish. You could get more because you're starting to get some of the leaking or the blow-off snow from that next low in the Pacific Northwest. Really good weekend setting up, as I was showing you for the Pacific Northwest. Look at the big numbers from Bachelor to Whistler to Baker, and then about a foot into the interior through parts of Revelstoke and Sunshine, Panorama, Fernie, and Marmot Basin. So here's part 2, 13th through the 16th. If the atmospheric river comes together in the Sierra and then that storm blows into the interior west, we're going to see some pretty good totals. Now, whenever this happens, this is a pretty warm flow, so keep that in mind. We may have some rain and snow line issues, but we'll get to that later. Just know that the potential is there for a lot of snow or a lot of precip in general. I mean, you can see the numbers. So this is good. This gives us something to look forward to into next week. One more piece of material, my forecast for Crested Butte, one of the places I would definitely be looking at on Friday and Saturday to ski in Colorado. Aspen Snowmass would be another one, Wolf Creek, Silverton. I would look at all those. And in particular, Thursday into Friday, I would look at the Wasatch. I would look at Bryan Head. I would look at all those places. So as you can see, the plume goes way up, and then it starts to go up again on the 14th, 15th, and 16th if that next storm holds together. So there you go. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Find some powder. Always appreciate you tuning in here for these updates. Take care.